What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode we are returning to the original Gundam novel, Gundam Awakening. Last time we learned of our hero, Amuro, who is already a cadet for the Federation. Like a Heinlein novel, many of the people of this world are maimed and missing limbs, showing us a harsher world. The Pegasus heads to Side 7 to pick up the new Gundam and gun tank. This time, Amuro and the cadets will move on foot in Side 7. They will lose one of their comrades, and Amuro will get into the Gundam. So let's get into this. The Pegasus docks with Side 7. 3 gun cannons and 3 Gundams are ready to be loaded onto the ship. Amuro and the cadets stand at attention while the veteran pilots get to be the first to check out the new units. On the bridge is Paulo Cassius. He spotted the Musai class before docking, and they need to hurry. Suddenly, an alarm goes off and the captain is informed that there is an attack inside the colony. Jean goes into action. Tomino mentions that the Zaku's verniers allows the mobile suit to jump 800 meters. He hits and destroys one of the mobile suits. Also, their names are Denim and Jean. Tomino started doing the weird Toriyama naming convention before Toriyama. EFF quickly responds to their attack, but they respond with Elikars with missile launchers mounted on them. Oh, bless their hearts. Jean and Denim swiftly take them out. 2 core fighters launch inside the colony. Amuro notes that piloting a core fighter in the colony is madness, as the fighters are too fast and the colonies are too small. They go in to attack Denim, but the Zaku is simply too powerful and takes them out. Amuro and the cadets get into their normal suits and grab some rifles. They take a lift to find a gun cannon with no legs. They find an Elikar and head towards the EFF base being attacked. The elevator they just came from explodes. Another explosion goes off above them, flinging the cadets out of the car. Amuro gets up to find that Sean was hit by a piece of the core fighter debris, turning Sean into a meat crown. No, not Sean! No, Sean, not LaShawn. Also, you're on the wrong side. Sean's blood covers Amuro's normal suit. He removes a piece of Sean's intestines from the suit and they continue running. He wonders if Frau is alright. He thinks about how Frau was a surrogate mother for him and wonders, was she into me? Oh man, I probably could have asked her out. Why am I realizing this while Sean's intestine juices are on me? They head to C Block, which was his old neighborhood. EFF turned the area into a weapons testing facility. That is when a Zaku approaches the cadets. The cadets and Pegasus crew fire on the Zaku, but Amuro runs through the mobile suit. He had sensed that it wouldn't move and he could rush by. The cadets regroup on the slope as citizens flee in evacuation pods. They realize they are useless and have to find heavier firepower. They head into the building where Amuro wonders where the other mobile suit is located. They leave just in time as a boulder crushes the building. EFF fires on the Zaku and ricochet bullets come close to hitting the cadets. They try to get into an Elikar, but one of the Zaku's giant shells drop down and crushes the car. Another explosion goes off, decimating the soil and exposing the colony. A few more hits like that and the colony is goners. During the explosion, Amuro sees the limb of a child pass by. This triggers something in Amuro. He knew there is one untouched mobile suit and is going to look for it. He ignores the massacre around him as much as possible. Once he reaches the weapon site, sure enough there was one untouched mobile suit already equipped with a core fighter. He gets into the cockpit. Amuro spent months training in the Gundam on the simulator. There are recent sticky notes all over the instruments from a recent field test, ironing out the little quirks. The monitor has augmented reality to show the targets in sight. He also has 8 monitors to give him a 360-degree view. He doesn't have a panoramic display, but there are cameras which allow him to see all angles. He can't find the beam rifle. One of the Zakus spot him, so he fires his Vulcans, but they are useless at that range. The other Zaku notices and swarms on his location. Amuro dodges a beam blast. He notes the Gundam is slower than in the simulator. He is fighting against the controls. He goes in and unleashes his beam saber. Amuro slices through the shoulder of Jean Zaku, but cuts into the chest. He realizes that he might have hit the core and retreats. Amuro says that nuclear cores don't go off like nuclear bombs, but they are still big and they cause contamination. So they are kind of like how we explained it in Hathaway. Jean Zaku explodes, blowing a hole in the outer wall of the colony. Denim remembers Char, stating that this is just a scouting mission, and he makes his leave. Char is on thin ice with the Zabi family and doesn't want this operation to turn sour. He is the son of Zeon Daikum. He was too young to understand when he was a kid, but his surrogate father, Jimba Rao, told him that his father didn't die of natural causes and lays blame on the Zabis. Besides learning Char's backstory up front, we also learned that he wasn't plotting as a child like an origin. Most of his hate towards the Zabis was taught to him by Jimbaral. He retained a new identity as Char Aznable and joined the academy where he met Garma Zabi. Soon the war broke out. Char is trying to lay low and gather as many Daikum loyalists in the process. He hates both the totalitarianism of the Zabis and the absolute democracy of the Federation, so he's going to let them fight each other. They pick up Denim and swing around the other side of Side 7 against Captain Haman Tram's wishes. Even if they disobeyed orders, Denim was able to create a diversion for the Musai. Denim tells Char intel on the Gundam and damage on the colony. They will be too busy to deal with the Musai at the moment. This is the perfect time to go in for a second infiltration. They will use normal suits instead of Zaku's this time. Char and Denim head back to the colony with a small team. Amuro wanted to help out with the destruction, but on the comms come Ensign Bright Noah, Warrant Officer Midai Yashima, and CPO Marker Clan. They tell Amuro that there seems to be no senior officers left alive, with the exception of a wounded Cassius. The Pegasus received a direct hit. All the ground units that went out haven't come back. Bright has assumed command for now. Midai tells Amuro that their mission is to find 3 Gundams and 3 gun cannons. They have to retrieve what they still can. Kai retrieved a gun cannon that seems to be the only functioning unit. Amuro must gather debris for potential parts to the mobile suits, while getting a gun cannon torso onto the Pegasus. Some civilians come asking for help. Amongst them happen to be Frau Bo. She tells Amuro that her mother and grandfather died. He tells her to take refuge on Pegasus. Amuro heads into the hangar where Ryu and some men are hard at work fixing the gun cannons. Bright tells Amuro he has to find the magnetic control coils for the beam rifle and destroy any remaining Gundam and gun cannon parts to get rid of any evidence. He sends Ryu out with him. Also on Side 7 is Sayla Mass. She is Char's sibling who lived out life on Earth in Europe, masquerading as an elite. Unlike Char, who fostered anger, she took a different path. Against Jimbaral's wishes, she immigrated to Side 7. She wanted to be a doctor, but helps as a communications technician on the colony. Soon the Federation took control and trained her as a communications expert. They then insisted that she enlist. She had no interest until this attack. Once the attack broke out, Sayla and the other civilian comm technicians were tasked with burning any documents regarding the Gundam. While this is going down, she spots a man in a red normal suit. She felt compelled to capture this man. She holds him up at gunpoint. The man takes off his helmet, revealing to Sayla that he is Char. He kicks the gun out of her hand and he realizes that it is Artesia. But he retreats during the chaos of it all, having little time to process finding his sister. The Gundam finds Sayla and picks her up. By this time, Amuro has already found the beam rifle. He tests it out by destroying the base and all evidence. As they retreat back to Pegasus, they see Char. Amuro points his gun and thinks, yeah, that's overkill. Bro was about to vaporize Char at the expense of the colony. Char begins infiltrating the core and the Pegasus. Amuro places Sayla on the ground and she helps Frau with some wounded citizens. On board the bridge with Bright is Oscar Dublin and Marker Clan. These two will be the unspoken heroes of Pegasus. Everyone on the bridge is inexperienced. They're using the sub-bridge because the bridge was destroyed, killing everyone but Cassius. All pilots with the exception of Amuro and the cadets have been killed in action. The Pegasus launches from Side 7. The medic Sunmallow, Wheels, and Cassius. He tells Bright not to worry about the Gundam and focus on getting the Musai off their tail. Char flees on jetpack and tells the Musai to get his Zaku ready. Cassius tells Bright that if this is the Red Comet, they have to get out of here. Amuro faces off with Char. He is able to dodge one of his attacks. He remembers the advice given by Lieutenant Ralph. He realizes that shell weapons won't penetrate the armor, and he has to use beam weapons. Char's Zaku flies off for a second, disappearing in the blackness of space before rushing at the Gundam. He fires tracer rounds at Amuro, but he is able to dodge another attack. Amuro is amazed at how well the Gundam is responding to his reflexes. As Char fights the Gundam, he notes that it isn't anything special, but he could sense that the beam rifle is packed with a powerful punch. He tries to overwhelm Amuro's attacks, but he is able to dodge them all. He wonders if the pilot is a new type. Char recently learned of new types a few months ago from the Flanagan Institute. He wonders if the Federation could have them as well. Char tries to tell Denim to watch out, but the Gundam fires its beam rifle, taking out Denim in one shot. Char realizes the beam rifle is as strong as a megaparticle cannon on a battleship. And that will do it for this episode. As we have covered the manga and the anime, I am trying to focus on the tiny details and internal thoughts of the characters. There are so many little details, like the monitors in the cockpit, to the baby limbs, to Char's unique normal suit, to the baby limbs. There's a lot of baby limbs. Amuro's first battle involved watching his comrade get squished by a core fighter. What a way to start. Next time, Char will make his retreat. We will learn more about Luna 2, and we will see Zeon's ultra-advanced satellite, the California. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, if you see your friend splattered in front of you, just wipe his intestines off your face and keep on moving. Peace.